Hey guys, it's Angela Knight, and today I thought I would do a video covering just how resilient the Stealth Black HTC One is. I've seen a lot of people commenting on my videos and also just generally across the internet concerned about the black aluminium, and I think that is a valid concern. We've seen with the iPhone this sort of, I believe it's anodized, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same on the one, but it's the same sort of thing. It does chip fairly easily, and also these edges, the way they're again, I forget the word, is it beveled or something along those lines, but the way these edges work, they're really fragile around here, just the way they're angled. Now, I've seen quite a few people complaining or commenting on this one drop test video that they've seen where someone drops it and the entire sort of speaker panel pops off. Now, I don't trust drop tests at all. I think these generally pre-release hardware, and I just don't think you can ever actually recreate a drop because it's always completely random. So this is just going to be my experience, so please don't flame me saying I'm being a fanboy, etc. This is just what I've experienced, and also this isn't going to be a video in which I'm actually going to drop the phone because I don't do videos like that, as I buy my own devices and I use them. This is just going to be a story of what happened the first time I got this. In fact, it was the first day. I went to a pub in the evening and they had really highly varnished wooden tables, which are pretty standard in most British pubs, but the trouble is they always tend to be really wobbly, and this one was no different. It would move sort of this much. So I had the phone face up on the table like that. I was just showing it off, showing my friend it, put it down for a bit, walked out, came back, and my mate got up to leave and nudged the table, and it didn't move the table much. As I said, it only moved sort of that much, but it was enough, and this phone is slippery enough for it to slide off the varnished table like a puck in an air hockey game. It just went completely, came off its edge, fell like that, turned and fell smack face down onto these solid flagstones, and these are serious big chunks of rock, so I'm not talking just sort of a tiled floor. These are really hard chunks of rock and they're completely flat, and this fell pretty much primarily face down. So I was pretty upset. I anticipated that when I flicked it over it would be cracked, it would be shattered, whatever, but I got it, flipped it over, and as you can see, the screen is absolutely pristine. There is literally nothing on the screen to show that it happened. And similarly around the edge here, let's go try and get the light shining off it, there's absolutely no damage whatsoever. Around this top, again, absolutely no damage. Sorry about that, my S3 ran out of storage space. But carrying on around, you can see there's literally no damage at all on this edge, and you may think it looks a bit like it's sort of refracting the light weirdly, but that's just because it's not completely polished to a shine. There are no chips or cracks or anything on this. And then you can see when you come to the bottom, all of it's pristine aside from this one corner, and there's this really small but fairly prominent, because it is white against a black background, get to focus in, a chip. And this initially irritated me a lot, but actually in hindsight, the hit it took on the concrete and the flagstone and the noise it made, and how, to be honest, terrified I was that I'd shattered this thing on the first day, I think this came out rather well. And I have to say, I will never ever do a drop test video because I don't think they're particularly worth anything. I think they're just designed to pull viewers in, and I think it's also slightly disrespectful to phones like this. But I think, having dropped it, I'm quite glad, because that has given me a peace of mind where I know that even if these things feel like it's not the strongest thing in the world, it feels really high end, but I think because it's such a nice design, I'm very worried that it'll scuff up. And also because it's aluminium, it's a metal I haven't really used on a phone, so I don't really know how it reacts to everything else, and I'm constantly worried that it's going to scratch when it comes into contact with another metal and things like that. But consequently, I am pretty careful with it. I'm never going to put this in the pocket with keys or coins or anything. So I think if you are careful, there's nothing really to worry about getting the black version. Yes, if you get a chip like that, it will shut more than the white version, but I gave that a hell of a bash to do that, and I don't think many of you are going to be dropping it in the same way that I did, especially if you're more careful. The one thing I would say is it is rather slippy, so just be careful what surface you put it on. It does the same thing as the Nexus 4, but to a lesser extent, where it does sort of drift. This one, however, instead of drifting slowly, it pretty much just went because the table was so shiny. And again, that did hit up an angle on the table, but I think it's something to be careful of. And also in the hand, it is rather slippy. But saying all that, I have to say the resilience of this is pretty good so far. You can see I've got some fingerprints here, and I'm going to do another video on that shortly. But I really wouldn't worry about this thing scratching up, guys. yes, it is going to scratch if you're stupid with it, but if you're careful with your phone, it should look not like new. This obviously doesn't look like new anymore, but it looks pretty good still. And yeah, I'm confident it's not going to just chip really easily in my pocket. So that's all I can say really. I think if you get the Stealth Black version, you're going to be fine. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks really cool. So yeah, comment about what you think. If you think there's anything else you want me to look at, anything else sort of more hardware orientated like this, where it's less of a standard review, more just a chat, then yeah, comment me up and I'll see if I can give you guys something you want to watch. So please subscribe if you haven't seen me before, and I will see you guys next time. Ta-ra.